All right, we're going.
So we could just go over the couple items on the agenda now and then see if there's anything from the notes last time that we want to pick up.
Yeah. Sounds
Okay.
good. And who's
Cool.
gonna take notes?
I can do it.
Okay, thanks, Judith.
Thank you. Okay, let's start. We have some follow-up on action items. I think that's what Judith mentioned here.
Yeah. So the first one, the newsletter, me, Jorg, and Jay have been coordinating that. We sent out a batch of emails to committers. We kind of distributed the lists of active committers amongst ourselves.
Okay.
And each emailed a group of people.
Okay.
And our plan is to kind of rotate the responsibility for assembling and creating the finished product that gets published. So Jorg is going to take the lead with the first issue.
Okay.
With the goal of publishing something by the end of the month. And I'm not sure if we'll quite make that or not.
End of the month is just like 4 days away, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, did you get any responses so far?
I sent out a few. I got one response from Ben Mahler, but that response more. So Jorg is putting together a first publication, and it's going to focus on storage.
Okay.
So we were particularly interested in getting input from people who've been working on storage-related things. So none of the people I emailed, that I know of, have been involved with much storage work lately. So
okay.
I don't know if I will get many responses from them, but
okay.
Jay was reaching out to G and some other folks, and then Jorg is reaching out to Adam. So we expected that G and Adam would have a lot to contribute on the storage front this time.
Okay.
And then we're also interested in just anything else that people are working on. So I'll probably send out a reminder today or tomorrow to the folks I previously emailed to see if they might have any non-storage related things they want to include.
I think I got an email from you, and I had to respond. I'll probably respond tomorrow.
Okay.
I want to give updates about like the fall domain stuff that we've been working that we recently added and stuff like that.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. I have it in my follow-up. Haven't just gotten to it yet.
Cool. Yeah, that's fine. I think we probably won't quite make the end of the month. It's an arbitrary deadline anyway, so it's okay if we don't.
Okay. Cool. So that's going okay. You got some responses. And do you know about others? Like, did Jorg and Jay get any responses? Or are you guys tracking the responses somehow? Or is it just, are you guys meeting regularly or something like that?
We have a document where we're going to be gathering the responses that we get.
Oh, okay. Got it.
And I know that Jay has reached out to some folks and heard back, but he still has a couple more people he wants to hear from, and then he was going to send his stuff along.
Got it. Okay. I guess so far, I guess it's a bit too early to say, but how's the experience been collecting this information and doing it? Is there anything that we could do differently or something, or is it too early to?
I think it's too early, but maybe next meeting we'll have more to say.
It makes sense. Yeah. I think we just started doing it, so it's probably too soon for retrospective.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So is that all there is to the newsletter? So the plan for the newsletter is to send a email newsletter and also do it a blog post, or just do it in a blog post so that we can drive traffic to the website?
I think the plan was blog post.
Okay.
We were planning for an initial cadence of once a month.
Okay.
And we'll definitely send out an announcement on the mailing lists as well.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, I think one thing we probably won't also include is the upcoming 1.4 release. So maybe make sure to get that from Kapil, or you guys could just include it. It's talking about the 1.4 release is coming up. It's ready to be voted. There is a dashboard for it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Get your blockers in and stuff like that would be nice to include it.
Sounds good.
Sweet. Okay. I guess next step is Jira tickets for CI and packaging improvements. So that was from Kapil last time, right?
Sounds right.
Let's see.
Yeah, I guess so.
I wrote it down as an action item last time, and so I just wanted to check in about it.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Okay, so I guess we just wanted to get an update for CI and packaging and include in the newsletter. Okay, so we should probably reach out to Kapil.
Unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to create the tickets yet.
Oh, he's here.
Hey, Kapil.
Hey, I sneaked in.
Just in time. Okay, so can you give us an update on that?
I did not create the tickets yet, so I'll do that early next week. I'm on vacation tomorrow.
Oh, great.
Okay.
So, sorry about that.
Oh, no worries.
So you're gonna create status tickets next week, but what's like the progress? Has there been any progress?
No, there has been no change since the last time.
Okay. And are you planning to start working on this starting next week?
I'm wrapping up the file-based secrets, so there are like some minor bits here and there.
Okay.
Also, I was doing the 1.4 release managing with Anand. I was wondering, I was hoping to actually get some of that time to do the CI work and so on. So kind of like a big wrap up.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So we were just talking about the 1.4 release. We just want to include that in the newsletter. So if you could just give a blurb to whoever reached out to you from the newsletter team.
Okay.
Just talk about when it's coming or what are things to look forward to in the 1.4 release at a high level and stuff like that. That would be good. It's gonna drum up some excitement, hopefully.
Okay.
Sound good? Maybe you can include the link to the dashboard in there and stuff like that. Cool. Awesome. In-person meeting at MesosCon. So are you on the MesosCon or any of you on the MesosCon PC for North America?
Nope.
I'm not.
I can I'll ask George about it.
Yeah, I think we should probably see if we can get like a couple rooms or something, or a big room with different tables for different work groups. Maybe during the hackathon day, or maybe like one of those days, to actually get a room with tables for different working groups. I mean, the rooms are small. I guess we could get one per working group. But so should we be starting like solicitation of people attending North America and who are interested in joining this meeting, so that we can get an idea of how many people would be coming in person, so that we could plan accordingly, like the capacity?
Yeah, I think we don't have access to the list of people who are coming, who are registered.
But we could probably just do it on our mailing list. We can just ask on our mailing list. That's probably going to be a subset, but I think that's probably okay. Or is there a way for the Linux Foundation to send an email out to attendees? I'm sure they have usually a list that we can ask them to send out emails to. Maybe we can get it through them. Like ask Linux Foundation to send an email with maybe like something that we generate, like Google Doc, like attend the work group foobar, like something like a survey kind of thing where they can say, yes, I want to attend this work group meeting, and then we can just get a number or something like that. I mean, we can do it on a mailing list, or we can do it via the Linux Foundation. That probably will reach all the attendees. So Yeah, that's one thing we could probably do. Like maybe Jorg is on the PC, right?
He is, yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can talk to Jorg to see if he can drive that to get a sense of how many people would attend an in-person meeting. So anything else that you want to do for work group? Is it, so I guess we should have an agenda for sure, but is there anything else that we need to do for the work group meeting? So would you be able to set up the Zoom and everything there for the video recording, or is that going to be hard?
That might be hard. Every working group leader would basically have to set up. Actually, we cannot do concurrent meetings on our account.
Okay.
So it might be a little tough, and especially if everybody's going to be in the same room.
Got it. Maybe the in-person meeting need not be recorded. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, because maybe people can just take really good notes.
Yeah. Okay. So right now for the Zoom, are we using a Mesosphere account, or do we have an Apache Mesos account, or how does that work?
We're using the DCOS account currently. We only have one account. We just DCOS because we didn't really think about the fact that everybody was going to have working group meetings on it.
Got it. And this is a paid account, or?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Got it. So okay. Unfortunate that there's no non-paid solution for non-profits.
Yeah, I think you can actually do individual meetings, but they can only run for like 40 minutes at a time. So like there is a like free Zoom solution, but it's very capped.
Okay, 40 minutes. That's like almost like they don't want hour-long meetings. Mm-hmm. So they intentionally capped it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Hey, Judith, has that been an issue thus far with any of the DCOS meetings, like having scheduling conflicts that you're aware of?
Not yet. I try and have everybody come through me when they schedule a meeting, so we just check, but we definitely do have meetings that are like right up against each other, and you can't start your new meeting until the old meeting ends. So yeah, we've definitely had some very close
okay.
Close calls.
Yeah.
Okay. And we looked at other solutions, and this was the best one out there, most convenient.
So when we picked this, we weren't really thinking that it was going to be that there were going to be so many meetings on it, because I just kind of mentioned it for DCOS meetings, and this is kind of a solution that everybody, like Kubernetes uses Zoom.
Got it.
Puppet uses Zoom. Like all the community managers I talk to, this is what they use.
Got it.
Yeah, we could get a Mesos account though. That might be a good solution. The other thing is I think there's a second tier of service. Mm-hmm. So if we wanted to pay more for this account, we might have better stuff. I could look into it for sure.
Yeah, I think it would be nice to get an Apache Mesos account and see if we can mail them and say, hey, we're a nonprofit. Can we extend it to maybe just 1 hour? Like 40 minutes is a bit too short. Yeah. Maybe I think not having concurrent, we can still probably live with it. It's kind of unfortunate, but a little longer meetings for some of the work groups would be nice.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Okay. So should we make an action item for that to create an Apache Mesos account on Zoom?
Yeah. Does one of you want to own that, or do you want me to try and do it?
I can own it. I can create it, and maybe I can send an email to them as well. So yeah, send it to me.
Okay, great.
Cool. Anything else you want to chat about from the follow-up from last time? Did we cover everything? So last time we talked about GitHub review board integration and stuff. Did we have any action items there, or did we not?
No, I think we just made a list of topics that we wanted to discuss in the future, and we didn't really make any action items for that stuff.
Got it. I think one specific action item that I could think of is we should probably update our submitting review page in the Mesos website because that looks so daunting.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
We just need to find some time to clean that up. That to me is probably the lowest hanging fruit. Hey, I see J Peach. Hey, James.
Hey, James.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Good. Sorry, I didn't realize that this was on this morning. I saw Judith's post in the community chat, but
that's all good.
No worries.
Made it.
Yep, happy to see new faces. So James, we're talking about some of the action items that we had from last meeting. I don't know if you had a chance to look at our doc, the community agenda doc for the working group.
Right, I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, so we were talking about some of the things that we chatted about last time that we still haven't resolved or checking the progress on them.
So, I mean, I would be happy to start working on the contributions page. I don't know if was that something you wanted to take on or had specific ideas about, Vinod?
I think the only idea that I wanted to put in there was to kind of make it less daunting. I haven't really thought about what it means, but I would say it's kind of right now focused on like seasoned contributors. I think it should probably be focusing on like new contributors because people once they're seasoned, they probably already know how to do this stuff. We should kind of change the focus to like new contributors and kind of maybe drive them towards GitHub flow. And only if it's like big-ish or complicated, that's when we say, okay, maybe that's even like a different page that goes for advanced contributors or something, go to this page. And that includes all the review board, Jira account, and all that stuff. That's the only idea, but I'd be happy to shepherd it. I don't know if we would have time to make that change, but if you have time, Greg, you think, I'll be more than happy to shepherd it.
Yeah, that sounds good. And that's kind of the general idea I had too.
Okay.
To have, we need to have some like really short path to submitting a first patch.
Yeah.
And I think we could have more in the way of, I think it's nice to have like console snippets and screenshots with something like this just to hold somebody's hand every step of the way.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like especially if we're driving towards the GitHub stuff, I think most people already know it. For the advanced one, maybe some screenshots would be good.
Yeah.
I think I think that's fine. Yeah, like the rebase workflow and all that should probably all be in the advanced section.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think the new contributors need to know all that stuff. That seems too daunting.
So I'll start an action item to start work on that. Any other people present want to be added to reviews for that whenever there's something submitted?
Yeah, I can help review if you like.
Okay, thank you.
A lot of furious typing. Cool. Let me scroll through what the stuff. So packaging we chatted about. Okay, and publishing jars we chatted about that. It's all part of community CI. Okay. Okay. So we chatted something about release communications last time around about slipping dates, blockers, and doing time-based releases. And I guess this time also we kind of are slipping the date for 1.4. It was supposed to be second week of July, if I remember correctly, and it's already last week of July. That's okay. But we need to send that email out. Kapil, are you going to send that email out, or did you already send it for the 1.4 release?
Anand is going to send out the email today, I guess.
Okay, he's going to send out today. Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. Yeah, we need to get that stuff going. So it's already past 2 weeks from the original date. Okay. Okay. So I guess the last topic that I had in mind that we wanted to talk about is some of the metrics that we want to kind of track as a community working group to make sure the community growth is in the right direction. So one of the things that we do as I think Ben Heinemann does as part of ASF board reports. So I don't know how many of you know this, but every project needs to submit a quarterly board report to ASF board to kind of talk about what happened in the project and what are some of the metrics, how are they looking, and what are, if you need any help from the board, that's a place we need to bring it up. So as part of that, we actually do include some metrics on the community. And the way we do it is basically there is this page called reporter.apache.org that's only accessible to committers, unfortunately. Let me open that up and share it. I don't think there's anything sensitive in there. Okay, so let's open that up. Let me share that. Okay. How many of you have seen this? Oh, cannot hear.
I haven't seen it.
Okay. Okay, but you haven't seen this before, right, Jared? Okay. So we are supposed to be super healthy for whatever ASF's definition of super healthy is. But I think the interesting bits here are the PMC changes, releases, so release timeline. I think, for example, they actually measure our dev list subscribers, how they're growing month to month. Looks like we're down 3 people in the last 3 months. It's not good. So we have, and I guess they also track number of emails, but I think number of emails is up and down, as we can see. We had a bunch on June 21st. Now there's a big thread going on or something. But our subscribers is pretty flat, I would say, for the last 6 months or so, 4 months or so.
But notice that new or total subscribers?
This is total. I'm pretty sure it's total subscribers. Yeah, it's total. It's calculating. It's just looking at snapshots at time, like how many subscribers we have. I think the more interesting thing is probably, I think commits and all of this are probably not that useful. Bills, issues, modules, reviews, users is probably the most important thing, I would say, or the next most important, or the first most important after dev, or before dev. That one, we have close to 1,000 people. That's been pretty constant over the last 4 months too. So this is something that we probably need to keep track. So one thing, since we have moved on, since we're more heavily using Slack these days for the last few months, it would be nice to kind of see if that is seeing more growth than this mailing list mediums. My suspicion is most of the folks these days are more happy just going to Slack and getting information there than subscribing to mailing lists. So it would be nice to track on the Slack side. I do give them a snapshot every time we send a board report, but Slack, since we are on the free tier, it doesn't really give us good history on metrics. It just emails me every week on how many people have joined and how many people have are deactivated or something like that, or became inactive.
We have a segment integration, I think, that pulls all the information from our free DCOS Slack. So maybe you guys could take advantage of that also.
Segment integration, what is that?
Segment IO is like it hooks technologies into other technologies like databases and stuff. I don't know. It's what we pull all our metrics into Redshift with.
Okay, I don't know how that works. So does it directly connect to mailing lists and Slack and stuff like that, or?
We haven't got it connected to our mailing list yet, but it does connect to Slack. I'm not exactly sure how. I didn't set it up at all, but I know it's possible to get metrics out of free Slack accounts.
Got it. Okay. Okay. So who the person to talk to about?
Graham. I think he set it up.
Graham. Okay. Okay. Chat with him. And I remember there's someone who mentioned about some analytics software on the mailing list. I don't know if it was James actually. James, are you aware of any tools to track this stuff? Did you guys use anything on the traffic server project?
On the mailing list, no. I mean, so Daniel Gruno has a thing called snoot.io, which was something that tracks code contribution. So
Snooch. Okay.
Snoot. Let me send the link.
So it only looks at Git, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess first we need to kind of...
So that's looking at that. It's only looking at kind of code contributions and committed diversity. Maybe it's gone now. That link doesn't seem to work anymore.
Oh, it doesn't work anymore. So what are the things that we want to look at? Maybe we should probably start with that.
I just posted it to the chat.
Okay, let me see.
Oh, Snoot.
Snoot. Okay, snoot.io.
So there was some email that came around to all the PMC, and so all the PMCs can have access. So if you look for you should have it probably in email archives somewhere.
Okay, track to activity aggregator. Okay.
There's basically stats around the source repo and tracking contributions from different companies and what parts of the code are active, that kind of thing.
Got it. So more like what GitHub has?
Yeah, pretty much in that vein.
Got it. Okay. So what are the metrics that we do want to track? I guess maybe we should start with that and see if there is a central thing that we could use. So we talked about mailing list subscriptions. Does it seem like a good metric to track, like for user list and dev list?
So I guess the user's subscription, the user's metrics are a little bit interesting because users doesn't seem to be as active as I would have really expected.
Like the number of subscriptions, you mean?
Number of subscriptions and the amount of email traffic. So given the complexity of Mesos, and it feels like there's quite a lot of activity in the project. The rate of change is fairly high. I guess I expected more traffic from the user. On top of it.
Yeah, looks like we got, so this is like peak traffic looks like. So we have about, the highest was about 38 emails in a week. So maybe we don't communicate that much on emails. We do more on Slack maybe. That's why I think it would be interesting to also gather Slack metrics, like how many subscribers do we have on Slack, and how many messages are we sending week or week. Has that, like my general feeling is that there's a lot more activity in Slack than mailing lists. Maybe people prefer the more synchronous nature of Slack, getting answered right away, asking questions and getting answered right away.
Yeah, I think a fair bit of the community activity has moved to Slack. My activity is mainly on Slack now.
Yeah. So I think that's like I know it's a generational shift or whatever you call it, but I think that's where most people are feeling more comfortable these days. So I think it would be good to contrast this with Slack. I think Slack users. I know that we crossed 1,000 users recently, which is awesome, on Slack as well. So it's probably our highest, like the medium with highest number of subscribers, more than our user list. Even though user list has been around for, I don't know, 5 years maybe, but Slack is only around for like 6 months.
Yeah. But I think those metrics will be pretty interesting to in the board report as feedback to ASF. But
so
these are ways people are interacting that are outside the ASF infrastructure.
Yeah. I think they're always a bit worried about that. They always want, for example, archives to be publicly available and publicly searchable and stuff like that. And I think we did add like a Slack archive bot for that in our Slack, so that it archives stuff in a public place, even though it's not on ASF infra. And we enable like IRC users to connect to Slack, and we also mirror it on IRC. So we go to some lengths to make sure IRC is not forgotten, even though we don't use that as the main medium. But this is all reflected in the IRC channel as well.
Is the Slack information easily discoverable from the Mesos documentation, the Mesos homepage?
Yeah, I think in the community page we do have information about how to subscribe to Slack and how to connect to Slack. There are a couple links in the community page. So that should be...
Right. Yep, I see it. Slack and IRC planning.
Yeah. So that should be... So, okay, for subscriptions and message, I think if there's something that could get our Slack statistics, you said segment.io or something, that would be nice. The other thing is Jira statistics, as you can see in this page. That's also something that we also report to the board on number of tickets created and number of tickets resolved and stuff. It kind of shows the actual activity for the project going on. I think they don't show the history for this to kind of really get a sense of what's happening. I mean, we can go back to the board reports and see how they look, or maybe Jira itself has the statistics. Anything to track. I feel like that's probably one of the reasons why they have it here. So number of tickets get, and of course the Git statistics. Like number of contributions happening over time, number of commits happening over time, and non-committer commits, especially like how friendly are we with respect to new contributions and stuff like that. That would be good to track, I feel like, in the on the source code side. So there's source code statistics, there is Jira stats, and maybe we should also have review stats, like review board stats.
Board stats would be good, I think.
Yeah, like how many, like what's the typical time for a review to get committed? How long does it take for a non-committer contributor to get his review landed and stuff like that? I know we did some research for that a while back, and Joris was driving it.
I think Artem still has some tooling that he was using to grab data from review board.
Yeah. It could be.
I guess in the past when I've raised the review time, the result that I was hoping for by raising it was that the community would come and try and get some of those reviews committed. I think what they ended up doing was I think there was more action around closing out reviews that were seen to be stale.
Yeah, I remember those discussions. I think at that point we kind of threw our hands in the air because they're like 400 or 500 pending reviews, and there is no way we are going to even get to them. And it wasn't clear if some of them were abandoned altogether. So what we said was we'll just discard it and then have people reopen it if they're actually really still working on it. And Yoris is to do that kind of regularly, like every month or every 2 months or something like that. But I don't think he's doing that anymore since he's not active in the project anymore. So we need to figure out another strategy. So one thing we thought about was actually doing it via like a bot, like maybe a Jira job or something that actually closes stale reviews. And
definitely, I agree with Greg that like, raising the visibility of what's in review board would be really valuable. I think for the ASF board report and also for contributors, because there's probably some gold in those hills, and there's good ideas languishing in there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It's the review board stats, source stats. What else should we track? What about website views and website visitors? Is that something that we look at, Judith? I know you asked for access for the Google stats for the website. Did you ever get it?
No, and honestly, I haven't done anything about the DPLS one either. Google Analytics is a very opaque system.
Okay.
No.
Like the dashboards and stuff are not useful?
Well, you have to really configure Google Analytics to give you what you want. And if it's not configured right, it's extremely confusing, and I don't really understand how to configure it. So,
okay, got it.
Yeah, but it would be nice to just have like general, even just like how many people come to the site. Like that's an easy one to get, and that would be great.
Yeah, I think it would be good to kind of track like where are visitors coming to, which pages are they looking at and stuff, what are the most popular pages and how many visits do we have. That's kind of shows kind of interest in the project, kind of gauge that. I think a lot of projects do like Google searches over time. That to me is a bit, I don't know. But I think that's one thing that we could look at as well. I think Google probably tracks like search based on search keywords or something, and how we are doing over time when people are searching for Mesos, and is it improving or declining or stuff like that on the internet front. And anything else that you guys think we should be tracking?
One thing is maybe we should think about doing some tracking contributions to specific like projects or artifacts. So, you look at the code base, we have we have like kind of maintainers of particular areas of the code. What important things don't have maintainers that should have maintainers? Do we have people really maintaining the docs, the documentation, and the website, and that kind of thing? So what can we do to encourage? What can we do to encourage people to contribute to the areas which are kind of underrepresented at the moment?
Got it. Like so you're saying component-wise tracking of contributions, for example, like for web UI, for
so I think web UI. I think web UI is kind of languishing.
Yep.
I get the sense that web UI is languishing, and
docs are definitely languishing.
I'd really like to get some momentum around making the docs a lot better.
Yeah, I think web UI, docs, and definitely the website, like the website itself, that code also hasn't seen that much love over a long time. Like the only recent thing that we have been doing, that I've been trying to do, is to automate that stuff at least, so that when someone submits some change, it automatically gets reflected in the website. But other than that, like the skin itself, we did a change during the 1.0 time. We got some input from our design team here at Mesosphere, and Howard Stent was the one who kind of took the design and actually did the change. But other than that, we haven't really did any major changes to the website itself, like how to organize the website, how to make it more friendly and stuff like that. So that's always the hard part, I feel like, without designers and front-end engineers.
It takes a lot of time, and it's not natural skill set for computers.
Yeah, especially not for distributed system engineers who are working on the back end. Okay, so I guess we got some good ideas here on things we need to track. So I'll take an action item to kind of look into if there are any integrations available, and maybe work with like Judith to try to see what we do with DCOS, for example, and see if we can get inspiration from some of the tools they've been using, and see if we can. I mean, it would be nice if there's a central dashboard that collects all of this, but I think that's probably a pipe dream. I don't know if someone has written that kind of tool already, but we'll see what we can get to start with. I think it would be nice to also kind of publish this every once in a while. I think we did this once, around 1.0 probably, on how the community looked and stuff like that. We did some graphs. It would be nice to kind of do it a little more regularly. James, you want to say something?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Cool. That's all I had to chat about the metrics. Anything else anyone wants to chat about the last 13 minutes that we have? Or are we good?
I'm good.
Yeah, I think I'm good. Nothing else from me.
Cool. Okay, so we got some action items. That's good. All right, so the next one is 2 weeks from now. Is that right, Judith?
Yes, I believe so. Let me just look at the calendar really quickly.
Yep. Yeah, 2 weeks.
Okay. Yep. Perfect. All right. So let's get our time back, 12 minutes back. And let's touch base in 2 weeks.
Cool. Sounds good.
Great. Thanks, everybody.
See you guys.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.